Good morning, Paul. It's Monday, the 14th of November. Here's a heads up brief for today.
Hi, Uday, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, so Paul, in Thailand, there's more security for the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Bangkok from November 16th to 19th. So there's likely to be a lot of traffic this week in downtown Bangkok.
Okay, thanks.
Meanwhile, in Thailand's deep south, Paul, insurgents killed one officer and injured another in a IED attack in Narathiwat yesterday.
Yep,
In Indonesia, Paul, the West Papua National Liberation Army injured one soldier in Intan Jaya yesterday.
that's really interesting. Injured one soldier. I'm sure there's more to that than meets the eye.
Yeah, we'll wait for more information to come out, Paul. Uh, in Papua too, Paul, on the day before, riots broke out in Dogiyai Regency after a child was killed in a road accident. People burned down the government buildings in the area and protested. Lastly, for Indonesia, Paul, in Maluku over the weekend, 2 people were killed and 35 people were injured over a land dispute in southeast Maluku.
Can you get somebody to map both the Maluku and the Papuan incident there where the
Yes.
road accident turned violent? I just want to see them on a map. Okay, I'm not
Yep.
sure about potential impacts.
Yes, we'll do that. Paul, in Papua New Guinea, authorities are seeking to reopen the Porgera mine in January 2023.
Look, this is a real significant issue. The government security forces are stretched, and they're stretched because the government isn't committed to building them, funding them, training them. They utilise the police like it's a hose, and they have one hose to water the entire garden, but there's 500 trees, and every time a tree looks dry, they send the security forces to water it. So there's significant corporate risk to doing business in Papua New Guinea at the moment. And the trend is it's getting more dangerous, less well governed, less well resourced. So the security forces are more and more stretched. They get ordered to go and fix the problems of the world, and the government doesn't plan to fund them, but wants them to be a miracle cure. So bad governance, corruption, self-centered agendas, one talk, which means I only look after my tribe because they support me into a position of power, can unravel. The sovereign risk for PNG at the moment is extremely high.
Right, Paul, those are all good to note. Lastly, Paul, for the East Asia Pacific region, in the Philippines, the weather department has warned of 2 typhoons before the end of this month. Moving over to
Okay,
South Asia, Paul, hundreds of people
hang on,
protest.
mate, hang on,
Sorry.
hang on. Just try to get some dates on that, mate. It's
Yep.
too general. Okay, hone
Yep.
in on that.
All right, Paul. We'll get that information. Moving on to South Asia, Paul, hundreds of people protested in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Pakistan yesterday against increasing terrorism. We've discussed how the risk profile from the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and the Baloch separatist groups have been increasing the risk environment in Pakistan's major urban centers over the last year.
Okay, thank you.
Also in Pakistan, Paul, authorities will halt gas supplies for general industries. They haven't specified exactly which ones in Karachi, as there is a shortage.
Okay, thanks.
In India, Paul, thousands of power sector workers are to protest in Delhi on the 23rd of November. They're protesting against the privatization of the sector.
Okay, thank you.
In Nepal, 17,000 security personnel have been deployed for the November 20th general and legislative elections.
Okay, thanks.
Lastly, for South Asia, Paul, there will be a mass protest in Colombo, Sri Lanka on the 18th of November. The location has not been announced yet.
Okay, tough.
In the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions, Paul, there was a terrorist attack in Istanbul, Turkey yesterday. 6 people have been killed and over 80 were injured after a bomb went off in a busy street in central Istanbul. Now, authorities are saying that Kurdish militants are behind the attack, but at this point, the involvement of the Islamic State cannot be ruled out.
Okay, thanks, Uday.
Well, that's the heads up brief for today.
Great. Come back to me on those things, and I'll see you in the management meeting later. Cheers.
Yep, will do, Paul. Thanks.